Asibingelele abazalwane bonke ntambama namhlanje kulesithathu. Welcome to iPower Hour namhlanje. Special greetings to our members of the Apostolic Faith Mission, our followers at Power Hour, the Bishop and the Lady Bishop and the entire family, all the saints all over la bebuka khona this broadcast. Sanibingelele ngegameni phakathi kaKristu Jesu. Amen. It is always an honor and a pleasure to have you in our channel. Siyabonga for tuning in once again. Sihlangene as we promised last time ukuthi ama panelists ethu esasinawo in our last talk show ayabuya basithembisela ngomlomo wabo. So namhlanje again sihlangene, we are still looking at indaba yo kuziphatha noma indlela egranwa ngayo umsebenzi kaNkulunkulu emabandleni. Inhloso ke yale show, we always say this is a show that is done by Christians and it is for Christians. So when you are tuning in here, you must not be offended. Masikhuluma ngeindaba zika Christ. Christ is the center of our discussion. Konke sikwenzayo inhloso ukuba sinikeze uNkulunkulu udumo. So ke I invite you to sit back and relax as we converse with the servants of the Lord. Asi bamukeleke izihambeli zethu. Siqale ngokubingelela umfundisi wethu Bishop uDube. Awubingelela abalaleli ekhaya babukeli Bishop.
Ngiyabingelela kakhulu kubabukeli emakhaya. Siyabonga ukuthi sibe ingxenye again ye-Power Hour. Siyathemba ukuthi uNkulunkulu uzohlengahlengisa futhi namhlanje kube khona esokufunda nesokulalela. Siyabonga.
Thank you Bishop. Siphinde futhi sibe nompostoli uRathebe, my dear brother. Bingelela abalaleli ekhaya.
Asibingelele ababukeli ekhaya. Sibonga kakhulu sibalukhulu once again for the opportunity esiyitholayo to deliberate on matters that pertain to the kingdom of God. Sibonga futhi nepanel yethu enamandla kakhulu. We believe that we are going to have a blessed show.
Thank you very much. Siphinde futhi sibe nomfowethu Pastor Ndamane, my dear brothers.
Sibingelele sibingelele kuma panelist members ethu Mfundisi uDube, Mfundisi the Apostle Rathebe, and thank you very much for inviting us again to this wonderful Power Hour.
Thank you. Njengoba nibona ke nani balaleli ekhaya ukuthi abafundisi bamanje abasafani nakuqala. It's unbelievable ukuthi abafundisi abathathu and babona iscreen manje akekho ngisho head ofake ibhanji nokholo. And it's shocking ngoba bengilindele ukuthi at least uBishop Dube uzohloniphisa afake naye ibhanji. It is disappointing umbone kulesima kusona bafake odangara abaveza imilenze. Yazi ngithe ngiyibona bengene studio ngathi waphupha wangeli ngoba ngabona ukuthi iyonakala into yasesizweni lalingijiva ke. And it's shocking ngoba ngiyabazi bobathathu besagqoka amasuit. I don't know ukuthi kwenzakalani. Umfundisi uNdamane ke wayefaka ngisho 3-piece suit. I don't know ukuthi kwenzakalani kwashintsha phi nje bengasagqoki lutho ke manje. Last time we had a show bazalwane sakhuluma ngezinto eziningi. We received a lot of feedback from abazalwane and a lot of questions. I don't think so wazi kwaqeda wonke kodwa sizamile ukuthi siwacombine ukuze sikwazi ukuphenduleka. Siyabonga kakhulu wena sekhaya ngokuthi ukwazi ukuthumela ama suggestions akho ku-email nakuma comments. So sizamile ukwafaka so besibona ukuthi senza kanjani. Namhlanje into engifisa siyibuke, excuse me, eyokuqala ngifisa siyibheke ilena ukuthi who is the real owner of the church? Is the church owned by the pastor? No, owned by the members? No, owned by God? No, owned by the community or the society? Because I think there's a lot of confusion. Ukuthi asa understand ukuthi isonto labani lamfundisi elabantu elomphakathi noma likaNkulunkulu. Mhlambe asiqale sivele sihlale phezulu kwale ndaba. Bishop uDube, what's your take? Who's the real owner of the church? Kwenzakalani ngoba manje kunama arguments amaningi. Ufica umphakathi nawo uthi isonto lelifele kube into yomphakathi. Ufica ama members athi into yethu lento safaka imali yethu. Ufike nomgcotsho athi umsebenzi kaNkulunkulu lo. Manje siyalahleka ukuthi ubani kahle kahle unikazi. Mangisho nje ngelanguage yakasandi ubani unikazi?
Ngiyabonga kakhulu sibalukhulu. Ngicabanga ukuthi i-topic ejule kakhulu le futhi eyosatha isikhathi ngoba sisesikhathini esifana nalesi sikusona se-COVID la sifunda khona ngempela ukuthi njoba lezi ndawo esiyibiza ngamasonto zivaliwe what remains lelo sonto buthe lakho noma lelo sonto ebenihlala kulo nihlangana kulo livaliwe njengamanje does it mean that isonto lisekhona noma likho na kodwa mhlambe ngizodlula nje ezweni ngoba vele sigqila kulo uma uJesu ethi kuPeter kuwena Peter ngizolakha ibandla but uJesu uthi I will build my church. I think ibasis efanelekile leyo ukuthi ibe isekelo engisuka kuso ukuthi ibandla lelika Kristu Jesu. Kodwa kungenzeka emphakathini kube khona nje umuntu onemali afika sakhele indlu bese sithi ke lelo bandla libhilonga kuye. Kungenzeka yini ukuthi labantu abakhonza khona kulendlu eyisakhiwe sebezothe yabo na. Now umbuzo ojule noma sizoyishiya sithi indlu eyakhelwa umfundisi mhlambe ke ukuyibheka ngoba elinye lama point abalekile namhlanje singayibheka ngama level awu2 ahlukene yokuqala ilevel yama mainline churches where umfundisi will come to a building ezoheada into ekuthiwa yibandla bese kuba yithi ama charismatic la umuntu ofana nami nje ezovele cha uNkulunkulu uthe angisungule noma ngiqale ibandla then umbuzo uthi lelo bhilidi osulakhile lakho yini noma lokho kubizwa kwakho sekwenza ukuthi uowne ibhilidi noma one ibandla yini ibottom line ukuthi ibandla liyibandla likaKristu iactivity ke eyenzekayo ngaphakathi iyona ke esidictatelayo ukuthi kufanele sizibize kanjani noma kufanele lesakhiwo sisibize kanjani kodwa ke ngoba sinale panel kunalezi zinto engifuna ukuzisho kamuva engicabanga ukuthi mhlambe zizobaphatha kababanye kodwa ke lapha emakhaya zizophatha kabe ekhaya kodwa ngoba truth be told kuzofanele silungise namhlanje whether it's nice noma akukho nice ukuthi ibandla likaKristu Jesu siyeza kuwe mfundisi ukuthi liba kanjani ibandla elakho liba kanjani ibandla elomphakathi liba kanjani ibandla elekomiti eliphethe ibandla
ibandla likaKristu Jesu kodwa liba kanjani elekomiti eliphethe ibandla hey Nkosi yami fasana amabhande bazakala emakhaya liyasuka iphano ebanje thank you Bishop mfundisi undabane lisuka kanjani from ukuba likaKristu bese kube lamadoda awu12 now esigungu esiphezulu
I think God it's important to understand ukuthi God calls a person most of the time but I think umfundisi uDube has tried to differentiate amabandla ahlukene and I think we can speak from different angles but if we could just align it to mostly Pentecostal or charismatic churches you'd find ukuthi most of the time God calls a person bizumuntu and then masembizile umuntu amnikeza umbono then abantu ba attract umbono bese beza embonweni and find a person ngale kombono and but then bese clarify perhaps lo osuke ekhuluma ukuthi cha ibandla likaNkulunkulu njengoba umfundisi uDube esechazile but I think there's twofold one is the spiritual element le akhulume ngayo uDube ibandla the body of Christ to Christu upon this rock I will build my church and then there's an element of physical bodies or an organization so the first element ile yokuthi ibandla lakhiwe uKristu and le owner uKristu elakhe but the other part ile yokuthi there's an organization and I think the element enkulu noma awu2 ama elements they combine could be a church but the other element enkulu I think umfundisi uDube uyishiye ilenga but I think to be discussed later ile yokuthi then in the organization how do you deal with labantu because once you bring people together noma ngabe kuthiwa bahlanganela ipolitiki noma bahlanganela isonto noma bahlanganela ibhola then there's got to be some structures that are in place so that's where we then begin to define ukuthi yes we are here what defines us as a church ile ukuthi si ngabantwana bakaNkulunkulu and we understand from the basis of that scripture ukuthi uJesu uthi ngiyakulakha ibandla lami so ke uJesu olakhayo ibandla but organizationally how we organize ourselves becomes very crucial in order to drive this agenda of the church
right all right Pastor Rateb
yes
ngiyafisa la ukuthola yakhe view ngoba lana ufica uhlangana nomuntu nje oyi-activist emgaqweni
Yeah.
ethi isonto into yomphakathi bese bafica nje sebecela ukuthi beze esontweni bezoba umhlangano wamanzi ukuthi kuzobe kufakwa amanzi noma umhlangano ukuthi kuzokwakhiwa ama-driveway noma ama-parcel elabani isonto ngoba ufica kunjalo ukuthi manje bathi into yomphakathi uxakeke manje ukuthi hey awusazi-ke manje uJesu noma ngoba nabasidala nabadela bakutshela usasebenza kanzima sagaleli nomfundisi naye futhi uthi walala engadlile waye kumsebenzi manje sivele sidideke ukuthi elaba kanti bandla ela Jesu noma lo mphakathi senze njani.
It is a very interesting question. I think one of the most important things that we should all realize ukuthi kunama terminologies that we have loosely used, and unfortunately they are working against us. Kulesi sikhathi esikusona. The first one being the fact ukuthi when we talk about a church, sikhuluma nge-church building or church, indlu yesonto nesonto. Akekho umuntu ibandla indlu yesonto ilapho ibandla lihlanganela khona. Into esho Bishop uDube nomfundisi uNdabane ukuthi the church belongs to Christ, and we subscribe to that. There is nobody who owns the people. We are custodians. There is a chief shepherd, and we are shepherds and we are also sheep to the shepherd, to the chief shepherd. So we are shepherds to the flock, but we are custodians of somebody else's property, because ibandla in that sense, it belongs to Christ. In terms of people, but there are buildings that the church meets in, or there are buildings lapho ibandla lihlanganela khona. Lapho ke ila sizobuza khona ukuthi how were these churches built? Because in the first place ukuthi in the eyashaya kakhulu issue administration. We come from a tradition where amabandla, talking about mainline churches, they were most of those churches were initiated by white people, and the truth of the matter is there was a culture created of not seeing abefundisi as administratively potent, ukuthi abantu abangakwazi ukuthi bapushe administration. So umfundisi waphendulwa umshumayeli kwaba nabantu who deal with other things that have to do that. Now that has created a situation as ukuthi when we move forward and siphuma thina your mainstream mainline churches sesiya kuma charismatic churches, kube ne confusion now in because we don't have a culture of succession. Ibandla lase Methodist, ibandla lase AFM, ibandla la kwaqala umuntu liqale njengoba thina nathi siqala. Kwaqala umuntu wafika washumayeza abantu, but waba ne succession plan, waba ne growth plan, how are we going to grow this into a denomination? But there's no church that started as a denomination. I don't know of any church that took figure, as to the virgin ground, la figure li lokozana. Lifika li seli and futhi liqale umuntu wayesebizela abantu kulomboneso umfundisi uNdabane besho. But the issue there ukuthi umphakathi kuya depend ukuthi indlu yesonto yakho ubani, and what were the terms of reference at the time the house was being built. Because ngingafika mina ngithathe ama resources with my family bese ngithi no, let me build a building for abazalwane ngibakhela indlu yesonto, ngibhale futhi ukuthi indlu yesonto eyami i-property, unless uthiwa nginikelile, ngoba inkinga ke ukuthi unikele uphinde uthi, ngoba uqala lapho ukuthi uyanikela eBishop angithi uthi mawusonikelile ubese uzothi nganikela, then I have a problem with that. But if there were references, in terms of reference from the beginning, ukuthi I'm investing, it's an investment, anginikele ngoba umnikelo into engenawo umlomo ukuthi kusasa lokuyikhulumela ukuthi nginikelile istina sami lesi, even when you are out of order ungakhuzeki ngoba uthi wena wakhele lo sonto. But if you happened ukukhipha imali ngempela uinvestor, ngikuqaqise ukuthi mfundisi ngizonikela la, kodwa not ngizonikela, ngizokhipha la i-investment lena nami ngifuna uku-owner nje iblock ethize yendlu yesonto.
Yabona-ke leyo Apostle, you are raising something very interesting here. Now you find situations where umfundisi akutshela ukuthi ngahlupheka
Hey.
iminyaka eminingi ngihluphekela leli sonto izingane zami zake zalala engadlile ngaye umsebenzi ngazongena kulento. In other words, when the pastor is suffering, one way or the other, the family is always affected.
Yeah.
Now, uma ibandla noma isonto angazi ukuthi liphi igama esolisebenzisa. Kodwa sitheni ibandla sileshe isonto, seliphakama, sekhona ama resources. Then lama resources mayise benefitisa umfundisi kanye nefamily yakhe. Phinde futhi sizube khona umsindo. Bese ugcina manje sekuba ne-confusion ukuthi is this a family business? These are questions people are asking. Ukuthi ama family business lawa you know kwenzakalani? Because manje sekubonakala umfundisi sebe right bonke. In some cases uthola even izingane zabafundisi zisebenza emasontweni.
Yeah.
Namakhosikazi abo esebenza khona. Ake ngithathe step further. Umama uyihead worship. Umfana omdala uphethe ama-asha. Ingane encane noma undodakazi ophathi nendawo yena wezindaba ye-finance. Bese kulo phathi nendawo yena uphethe protocol yokugada abantu bangasondeli eduze kwababa noma yonke nje family iphakathi esontweni. Abanye they even do qualifications ahlangene nesonto. Uzokuthiwa ingane yamfundisi yenze i-degree of music. Uma ubuza ukuthi uvela ukuthanda ucula nolo uzosiza la esontweni ukuze sikwazi ukuthi sibe no head wo music. Now bese kuba khona imsindo ke ukuthi manje sekuyi family business yini Bishop Dube sekunjani mase kunjani ku right noma ku wrong ngoba people are talking abantu bezabexheka and futhi ungayenzi mistake. Some of these questions that you are asking are not only coming from abantu abangakhona, are coming from the believers.
Yeah.
The born agains. Ukwenza bethi sekumama sekuyi family yakwaDube nje phethe la asana safety.
You know, nginama living example.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at the church that is run by Joel Osteen today, there was a church that was headed by his father.
Right.
When you come to South Africa, I can also point a number of them.
Yeah.
You know, where you'll find Pastor Fred Roberts has been heading the church.
Yeah.
And today his son and his son-in-law are continuing to run the vision that was based or that was given to the heart of the old man. And you go to another church in Wamashu that we know very well. Ubaba started the church. Fortunately, I'm one person who was there when he started.
Yeah.
And I know the sweat and tears and the struggles that he went through. And unfortunately, many people were not there. You know, my question, you know, sitting here as a pastor, when you look at the Bible, likhuluma ngo Eli namadodana akhe uthi nangu Eli nanga amadodana akhe. Unfortunately awenzanga kahle kanti ukuba benze kahle abezothatha over umsebenzi kaNkulunkulu. You speak about Abraham. Abraham nangu ekhulisa kahle izingane zakhe so that they keep the legacy. And you speak about God himself. uNkulunkulu ngesikhathi enikela kazange ayothatha kamakhelwane. Uthathe indodana yakhe wa establisha ngayo le kingdom esikuyona. And I wonder why is it wrong then in this generation when a pastor has started this work? Ngoba mhlambe sokuhlukanisa. So at a certain point, looking at the charismatic, the way we do it, where a pastor, you know, started this church, sweat and tears, establishing this work. And then all of a sudden, when the work has been established, then the outside people will come and be part of this church. And then they start to dominate. Ukuzophatha kwena lo mfundisi to the point ukuthi bafuna ukumkhipha. And that is where we really need to learn administration. Ukuthi akuwrong ngempela ukuthi izingane kaMfundisi zidlala ama drum le enkonzweni, because I mean zizodlala uma ingadlali le enkonzweni, because again uma ingane kaMfundisi iphuma iyokwenza izinto ngaphandle, again it's a problem. It just shows ukuthi the church starts with family. Sometimes, you know, it will be embarrassing, but it's a subject endele ukuthi mina as a pastor eyami ingane ingakhuli yenza umsebenzi kaNkulunkulu, ikhule idivert, and it will not be a mistake if my own child decides ukuthi, because this is the part of the legacy, life ike yonakale khona, because we start churches today. uma uqale ibandla elingenambono as a ministry, as I was saying in our outside talk uthi, many ministries are going to finish. Azophela uzothi wena uyiqalile lo msebenzi ngamhlazane songcwaba singcwabe nomsebenzi wakho, because if vision yakho was very short sighted. You ask yourself, why did umfundisi uphumele ebandleni wayoqala ibandla, yini purpose yakho? The building of the church must not be centered around umfundisi. It must be centered around the vision. And that vision must be a vision that is going to live forever. I believe that ECC will exist, and it's there in the inception. When we started, this is what we said. Even if I die tomorrow, it will have to continue for generations to come. In terms of administration, what is going to happen. But for the church, for ibandla li exist, then the family, yomfundisi, if a part of ibandla, it's 110%. It should be the case. In fact, I would be very glad izonke ingane zabefundisi will be taking over after their fathers and proceed njengoba uNkulunkulu enza wanikela indodana yakhe uJesu Kristu ukuthi ithathe over. Manje thina ke soba nenkinga kuphi uma ingane zethu seyithatha over. Mase qhamuka abantu abangazange baye esiphambanweni sebezodebate noNkulunkulu, thena uNkulunkulu usenza ukuthi awuzange unikele ngengane yakho. It's like abantu abanganikele esontweni, they talk too much. Abantu abanganikele esontweni, they are the ones abakutshela ukuthi no sinenkinga la, and you ask a person, how much are you tithing? No, let me do calculations. Ombona lapho umuntu ongatithe ukuthi mombuza ngqo utithe malini akakutsheli answer. Omunye uthi hayi angibhali ngaphandle envelope. No, angibuzi lokho, ngibuza ukuthi utithe malini. So there is no problem ekutheni we as leaders, even in this generation, we groom our young ones, even our flesh and blood, to be able to be part of running the organization of the church.
Hey, Bishop. Mfundisi uNdamsi. Uthini? Isonto lingaba yifa manje ukuthi lisuke kuwe lewundodakazi.
But I think the first part ilena yokuthi the people who will understand the vision better ilabo hlala nabendlini, and they are the people who are going to support it fully, and they're the people who understand the pain of people who are starting churches and people who are running churches, so they understand the frustrations better, and most of the time that is why you will see them committing much more than anyone else. Family, in the church in general, because by understand the frustration that you are going through, and they probably understand the vision better than anyone else. And I think it's from that basis, that is why abantu beqala mason. But I mean, we've got a lot of examples, whether it's in organizations in general, like companies themselves. Companies, by the way, that tend to succeed mostly are people where you get people by family be involved. And most families that become successful by a creator is succession within a family. In a church setup, I think Bishop has spoken quite a lot, and we could look at a whole lot of things. House of Levi, abalevi. Is about priest. So if you look at it in that sense, and I look at it, Mina, and I always say, football players are mostly generated, they come from a family edlala ibola. You find that doctors give birth after doctors in the main. So politicians give birth after other politicians. It cannot be 100% true in a sense. I'm trying to say, most of the time, people do give birth after their own kind. So we as pastors are going to give birth to pastors or people who are going to be prominent in that space of the church, whether they are playing a leadership role in a particular place or they are going to be pastors themselves. It's a very difficult situation for people who are aspiring to be leaders in church, who tend to create like commotion yokuthi bethi yindaba sengazokuthi sekuyifa lawa dube noma la kandaba. It's because other people people are really looking at saying, "Nami ngiyafuna a pie in the steak." Yeah. So those things tend to be my issues that people use ukuthi bafuna ukungena. But this is debatable in a true sense yokuthi ayikho into wrong ngakho. Maningi ama examples esingawasayitha, but even outside church, in business we can look at that, in church we can look at the same thing, but in the main ayikho into wrong ngalokho ukuthi abantu bathi take after from a family side and become pastors themselves.
Hey, Zeveduka. Okay, ngifuna ukudayisa. Kodwa ngifuna ukuthathela umpostoli uRathebe.
Yes.
Isonto is the only place la khona ufica khona uma wakhona. Ebizwa ngetitle kababa wakhona. Uma nje kuno principal wakadube. Umama khona ngikaze ngizwe.
Mama principal.
Khumbula nje ubishop uprincipal. Umama Dube umfundisi uDube angikhumbule ebizwa ngomama principal. Kodwa enkonzweni ufica khona mama umpostoli noma umbishop. Le setup ihamba kanjani? Bonke baphakathi.
Yeah.
Is it the order ukuthi fanele kuhambe kanjalo? Because the moment umuntu uthi umama yabo nje mangase uthi unkosikazi wami umama CEO mayengene organization where I'm the chief executive khona, they're expected to perform at a certain level, and sometimes that puts that person under pressure because the moment uthi sicela mama umpostoli akhuleke umuntu ohleli phansi ulindele umthandazo very apostolic mase ngisho ngelanguage yethu ulindele mase sicela mama bishop ufuna athandaze umthandazo lo othi manje mama bishop vele umama vele yabo niyabona into engishoyo.
Yeah.
What is it? Are we expected to work with our wives emsebenzini kaNkulunkulu?
Yeah.
Is it automatic kwenzakalani?
I think again it goes back to let me lay a foundation to the question that you're asking, Sibalkhulu.
Yeah.
In Dokala, let's look at the different types of governances that are there. Number one, you have democracy, right? That's where we live, Tina. We're a democratic country. Another type of governance is autocracy, where you have an autocratic type of government.
Yeah.
And then you have also what we will call bureaucracy, right? There's a fine line, and I'm gonna try and bring a balance in relation to the issue of family and being, playing a role. The God's governance, it's theocracy. God governs and rules through people, right? And so whatever that a person does must be based on their calling and the giftings and the abilities, the giftings, the talents that God has bestowed upon them. But it's very frustrating. Ukuthi thatha abantwana bethu sibenze into uNkulunkulu angabayenzanga yona. Uthole manje siyabaforsa nje uyabona mina ngithenge I bought a keyboard lapha esotweni for OT ukuthi practice. But guess what? OT dlalela ama-ex cabangela izimoto, cabangela yena ukuba i-mechanical engineer, car design and stuff. So it's a nice thing if he would still be playing a significant role in the church as a child of God, because that's what I'm hoping for. But it doesn't mean that if God has not called him into ministry, there must be a balance. It's a good thing, and I think that's why God provided a platform, different models. In New Testament is ropang in In New Testament is ropang it doesn't open up the roof for us to see members of the family and what's happening. But the Old Testament provides for us a little bit of that invasion of privacy of all the families that are there. And Bishop Dube, they mentioned a few families, and number one, if of Levi, the house of Levi, right? But now we don't even hear about his sons. Then the person that takes over is Joshua. And then now David and Alana as kings and people from their families take over, which means that there is provision for all these models as long as people are operating within what God has called them. lena ke yomamfundisi no bamfundisi it's subjective, it's very difficult because ngempela you end up not getting married for love or because you want you usobheka ama gifts ukuthi lo muntu uyohlabelele esontweni even if uNkulunkulu engambizelanga lo nto manje so ufuna ahlabelele it's frustrating and the titles that we are using, the truth of the matter is we have adopted a worldly model, right? A worldly model that says if you are married to the president, you become the first lady. And so if you are married to the bishop in the church, we call you first lady. Why? Because that's how it is. If you are married to a king, even if you don't come from royalty, we immediately call you the queen, you know. So you become the queen. So we have created the same scenario as well in the church where we give our women titles to a place where some of them there's nothing wrong my busy, but you'll see what umama manje sesimbiza ngopastor, sesimbiza ngoprophetess, sesimbiza ngolady apostle engenayo igifting in that area. Ubona ukuthi nje simthwalisa umthwalo onzima umntana abantu ngokumbiza ngama title uNkulunkulu angamenzanga, because none of us can make anyone anything that God has not made them.
This is sesiyodayisa, but this is very tricky because uthola sometimes ngiyayizwa into esho umphostoli.
Yes sir.
Sometimes you then find the ladies complaining ukuthi sekudlalwa ngathi manje mina umsebenzi wami la ukuthi ngisukume ngisho imemezelo. Ayibazana asinimukeleke sibonge kakhulu sezosukuma ngamanje bishop ningakhohlwa njalo ukuthi omama bayaphatha njalo ngoba siya lapha la kushone khona. Yabo manje umama agcine esengathi nje umuntu wama announcements. Ngempela Bishop Dube ngiyakuzwa Mpostoli Rathebe, what's your take in 1 minute ngifose udayisa ukuthi umsebenzi kwi-situation enje senze njani kufanele ke si-assess.
Unfortunately
yes,
unfortunately kukabili and the truth of the matter njoba esho uMpostoli Rathebe kukhona abangazange babizwe lepulpit. I know you know umamfundisi ngoba ushade nomfundisi abe explicit ukuthi lalelani uvusidubu yena umfundisi mina ngutaki you know, which is very good. Because sometimes bakhona laba ba invadeayo invade ispace samfundisi to the point ukuthi ufuna ukubizwa nge-first lady, and those are mamfundisi who are destroying churches. They do destroy churches because you give them the pulpit, then they start to insult abazalwane, they start to speak indaba zasendlini, they start to you know indaba acasulayo ngalo baba wabo usezozo ikhuluma epulpit, you know. So kukabili kukhona ngempela laba uNkulunkulu ababizile nako mhlambe ngelilanga you'll have them to sit here in the hot seat ubabuza ukuthi are you really called njoba uma umfundisi, bese kuba khona ke laba ukuthi mangabe uma uba umfundisi esegcotshwa umfundisi, then they take advantage of that situation, and honestly they can't even pray, they can't even say ubaba wethu osezulwini, but they want to occupy the pulpit ngoba uma umfundisi. And then kulo ungakwazi ukwenza ubaba wethu osezulwini akwazi ukufundisa uSunday school la kufanele aqale khona, they destroy the church. And they are the ones about, you know, in sometimes kuma ministries eswaranayo, they are the ones who are putting wings on young pastors. Awukwazi ukuphatha uDube asamsoqala ibandla lethu. And those are some of the things we are facing in the church today. Waphuma ebandleni wayoqala ngoba udriver umama lo sefisa ukuthi nabizwe ngo first lady, yabona ucomputer noma umfundisi. They go out and then they destroy themselves. And that is why it is important ukuthi sikhulume lezi zinto sibe explicit and be truthful. If you are not called into the pulpit njengoba umfundisi, you are called to assist uhusband ekhaya, kumphekela, kumayinela, nokumbheka mayeze phuma enkonzweni right, kulungile. Asibavumele singabaniki pressure omama ukuthi simphonse pulpit kubonakala ukuthi no simphonsa ku den of lions. Ngoba bazodila nayo abanye omama enkonzweni banomoya bayalalela into yasezulwini bazosheshe bayibona hayi yikho le ekhaya. Bese destroyeke ibandla unnecessarily.
Okay, dams ngani wami ufuna ukuthini
In short, I think a lot has been covered, but a journey of self-discovery is also important. Knowing who you are, what's your role, qala njengomntwana kaNkulunkulu, and as a wife to the person who is called. It's important that you understand yourself, you understand your strengths, you understand your weaknesses, you understand the role that you want to play as umzalwane, as umfundisi or umpostoli, and not to be carried away by titles. Most of these titles come from people abasesontweni because baboneka umfundisi uDuwe noma kampostoli Bishop Duwe noma kampostoli Rathebe to our first lady and then the lady bishop, and then they want to bring those. I'm not surprised. Many people banama titles today because banikezwa abazalwane but how Bishop Blam noma umpostoli wami or anything, and then it grows in them. So kufana nabo mama, sometimes these things are a pressure that comes from abanye mama mfundisi. Sometimes it's a pressure that comes from the title that has been bestowed upon them. But I think just all in all, a journey of self-discovery and being comfortable in who you are and the role that you want to play is very crucial, that you understand yourself. In that sense, you'll be more effective and comfortable in that space. And I know what role I'm playing.
Samuel Zotaisa, in 1 minute masibuye kulunge mali. Stay tuned.
Expand, think expansion, thinking just phambili, talk, walk, and carry yourself like a person who is expanding. Uye ukucabanga i-chariot nokukhangeza uNkulunkulu abusise. Good night.
Siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi uphinde usijoyine kule session yethu yesibili. Sivale zidonsa impela zibuya. Lento Bishop uDube raises a question. Njengoba ngithe ngifuna sikhulume ngemali. Lento yemali iyasibanga isixakaxaka. Because manje ngicela ngingasa understand ukuthi amasonto avulelwe imali. Sizokhuluma nje nayo in this round sobe sikhuluma ngalo ukuthi lento yemali. Kodwa before siya ngqo kulento yemali. Ngenxa yensolo zokuthi abanye boza kwethu mhlambe bagcina sebengenela imali. Ukuthi umuntu nje ufuna ukwenza imali. Ukhona into ebhizinisini ekuthiwa i-going concern. La khona inkampani uyibuka khona ukuthi mangabe ngasasebenzi fanele liquidate. Mawubuka uSouth African Airways unamabhanoyi amaningi and they are costing billions. They even have licenses to land in big airports or JFK or bani. But kukhona isikhathi la befanele bahlale khona iboard nama audit ukuthi is this still a going concern? Yes, we've got assets, we've got the name, but is it still making business sense? Now emabandleni why singenayo lento ngoba sometimes ufica ibandla ubone ukuthi kahle leli bandla, let me use the business language, ubone ukuthi leli bandla they are sitting on a permanent deficit. Year by year ayibalance into yakhona. Now kungiphathe kabi because yonke into siyenza ngegama lika Jesu. Now ukuthi ngibuye ngihlukumeze ukuthi kanti lo Jesu wethu uphi uma ibandla lirana ku deficit for 10 years. Kodwa sisenze umsebenzi. The moment ukuthi wenza umsebenzi kaNkulunkulu, let me tell you something. My view usuthatha yonke into uyinikele esandleni sikaNkulunkulu. But then uphi uNkulunkulu when the church is running permanently on deficit, ibandla lina 10 years. Abantu bayavuthuka nje. What is it, Bishop?
Leyo sibakhulu, it's a serious problem esibhekene nayo njengamanje njengebandla, particularly a charismatic church. Because kuna befundisi, if we're sitting here as a board of decisions, ebezofana decide ukuthi that church must close and it must close tomorrow. For one reason, when as a leader you are not called to run a church. You see, one thing to stand in front of the people and preach, it will not make you ukuthi uphumele ngaphandle futhi usiyoqala ibandla lakho. And that's a problem ukuthi uyitesta amandla ngabanye abantu. I've always said this thing ukuthi, should I invite somebody who comes from outside to come and preach in church? Uzibuza umbuzo ukuthi bangaka abantu afike nabo. Unayo ni influence. Noma uzo influencer labantu vele asebe khona le endlini. uzodala amehluko muni empilweni zabo, and that becomes a weakness yokuthi once you are given that platform and you think you are a pastor, then we give you an opportunity to okay, go outside. First of all, you don't start a church lapha ngaphandle ngalabantu atushumayela kubona. You need to start on your own. Sikubone lapha ngaphandle. You create your own platform. One great servant of God who used to teach us, he used to say ministry is spelled as W-O-R-K. That was Dr. Fred Roberts. He would say, ibandla lakho kufanele uqale le ngaphandle phansi kwehlahla, but kufanele ukuthi kuphela u6 months sekubonakala ukuthi kunento ekhona la obizelwe yona, not ukuthi njengoba ngasho eqaleni ukuthi zibheke kwawena uma ungaqaze esikoleni wenze kahle, hayi ukuthi uloyiwe, hayi ukuthi uthakathiwe. Kusho ukuthi isipho sakho asikho kahle, nasisikole nawenzanga kahle. Don't expect yourself ukuthi we are going to lead a church. Ufika uthi wafail and then you say no, ingoba uNkulunkulu ungibizela, I see my calling. No, uNkulunkulu, we must give him uNkulunkulu excellence. Look at Daniel. Look at the caliber uNkulunkulu yabantu ababizile. Angeke ke khona igama engilisebenzisa ukuthi angeke sisuke emlotheni. Uthi nje usuka kwawena umlotho ungakaze wenze lutho, ungakaze ulide lutho nasekhaya, uyothi ngamhlazana ngoba udubu kunikeze waba yielder ebandleni eshiya imemezelo, wafunda lelo verse lanyakasisa abantu, kwathinyulwa enkonzeni. Lokho sekukwenza ukuthi ke nawe uzobuya ngesonto ezakuchase ngoqala wami umsebenzi. That thing must be closed. It must be closed tomorrow, because you are destroying the lives of the people. And that is why sibona abantu behamba njenge wave, bahambe nawe namhlanje ayibayabuya bathayi siyaxolisa babesasekhambela kukho. So it's very important lento yokukhula, ukhuliswe, utrainwe, ufundiswe, uhlaliswe phansi njengomphostoli Paul, as clever as he was, but he needed time to be taught ukuthi njengamanje njengoba usungena evangelini udinga izazi ke manje zasevangelini. Now we fail to do that. We don't want to sit in churches and learn. Into oyifundayo wena ubheka ama weaknesses. Kube mina ngilishumayela leli verse bengizothi ngithi. That's a problem. And I think in one or the other ile onto ke drive abantu abaningi ukuthi ngibona imali yangena enkonzweni. Ingena kanjani imali la? Then I go outside thinking that I'm going to make money. Uzoba inkinga kuthina, uzonza ukuthi thina njengebandla sibe yihlazo. Siyathuka namhlanje as a church, not because of obaba bethu abenze kahle, because of us in this generation we failed to tell people the truth, because we are running, kuzothiwa nginomona. No. If you are not called, you are not called. If ungakazulita indawo, awukazulita indawo. Hlala phansi uvuma ukuthi uzolidwa abanye abantu. Otherwise you are destroying the lives of other people.
Mbosolo Rathebe ngiyakubona uyashiselwa. Sikushayela isikole duty, as the bishop says. What a futhi sizogijima.
Well, that's a very difficult one, but I must say that isn't Bishop as a shield, they are very, very important for everybody to listen to, and literally number one, if you look in the book of Revelations, you find the 24 elders laying down their golden crowns. And for me, that's my interpretation of that verse is God deserves the best. It's not us sihluleke somewhere else and then turn the church into a place la khona sizo accommodate ukwahluleka kwethu. That is very, very important, is that when you are in the ministry, you must make it a point ukuthi ubiziwe awuzanga ngoba khona la ubaleke khona. Because that is not going to work. You look at all the people that got called. There is an element of leadership in them. Khona umehluko phakathi kokusindiswa. Insindiso yethu sonke. Insindiso sonke sibizelwe insindisweni yokuthi simamukele uJesu njengenkosi nomsindisi. But when it comes to work, there are certain qualities that are needed ukuthi umuntu akwazi ukuyenza umsebenzi kaNkulunkulu. Unfortunately, we are called, it's only in the church where people don't care about the quality of leadership that they provide. if somebody wants to be a lawyer, they understand that this is a profession. I must be trained. I must have the necessary expertise for me to be able to be effective in what I do. If it's a medical doctor, they will go to and stay for 7 years, just 6 years. And then, the 7th year doing their practical. Why? Because they take serious what they do. Sometimes I don't think we take serious as well. Now, this is what I want to hand over this discussion when the question on Hosea. If you look at Hosea chapter number 4, verse number 6, Hosea, it says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." Now, other versions say, "My people perish because of lack of knowledge," but they don't really give us the meaning of what the Lord was saying there, because He wasn't saying my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Because if it's because of lack of knowledge, it will then suggest that knowledge is lacking. But it doesn't say that. It says they perish because they lack knowledge, or for lack of knowledge. So it's not that knowledge is not there; it's them who lack it. Hence, when you go down, it says that, because you have rejected knowledge, I will also reject you as my priest. You can't reject what doesn't exist. So if you can reject knowledge, it means that knowledge is there. There is a plethora of knowledge out there. Like priest, like people. What does it mean? It's the same principle, like father, like son. God is simply saying that pews are a reflection of the pulpit. You cannot have a strong pews when you have a weak pulpit. Otherwise, you are going to have abazalwane bakho bejabulela to come for church on Sunday, bahambe bayodla somewhere else, where they're going to be fed spiritually somewhere, where they're going to go online and be fed somewhere, where they're going to be watching TBN and the TBN or GoTV, whatever, or other, Christian television station. Why? Because but they are gathered, but their souls are not fed. Because if there's no knowledge in the pulpit, there will not be knowledge in the pews. Because pews are a reflection of the pulpit.
Wow. Usho ukuthi mangisamaraza lento mfundisi Ndamane, some of our colleagues akebelisa abazalwane imoto bengakwazi ukushayela. Mangi-analyze into eshuwo umpostoli uRathebe noBishop Butubuthi kunama qualities afunakalayo. What's your take? Siyabakebelisa abantu imoto bengakwazi ukushayela.
Yeah, I think maybe without even trying to create ourselves as a template of what a called person or a leader should be, it's of our opinion really that not everyone who says is called is called. Abanye, they started churches out of frustration and out of many reasons. That's what tholayo la ngaphandle. And therefore, the truth of the matter is that kunabantu abaningi who really should reconsider what they are doing as church. Kunabantu abaningi who should reconsider going to some churches because you are thinking, Uguti, I don't think this is a place where I should be going. There are leaders who should be truthful in telling other people, Uguti, son, you are, zeal, but you shouldn't be doing this. Try doing something else. But I think I'm saying this in the context of many things. Maybe let's bring it back. I love Africa. In the context of Africa, and I always am at pains in thinking about Africa in the sense that in Africa we pray a lot and we become very poor a lot. And what brings us to poverty as one of the reasons, as one of the many reasons, ile issue ukuthi we are hell-bent on going to church and thinking that all our answers are in church. And most of the time, it break forth is the issue of the leadership of we are subjecting ourselves into. And the truth of the matter is that as developmental as we should be in church or in Africa or in South Africa in that context, purely because of these people who are not supposed to be standing up and leading people. Because if you are not developmental yourself and you are not developmental in getting your people to grow, then that's going to become a challenge. So we are talking in that context, Uguti. should other people really be leading other places? And the truth of the matter is, some people should not be. Some people are very good supporting other people, and they become very good at that. And some people start because of frustration, and some people start because bafuna imali somewhere, and it's a quick way to spin a church rather than to spin a business. So I think these things we need to introspect, and look at ourselves and really try and redefine the future of South Africa and the churches, charismatic churches, so to speak. I think we hold great boldness where we should be running and really be in the forefront of many other formations, including influence that we have. If we really have a lot of people, we have many churches, but the truth of the matter is not as many churches are influential in the communities themselves. Kunomphakathi nje unesonto kodwa alandaba umphakathi ukuthi there is a church, because they know it's just one of those things. So I think there are things and matters, like I said, without really trying to say we are the template of what should be, but we are often opinion ukuthi some of these things should really be reconsidered greatly, and some of abazalwane should really reconsider, but am I really in the right place? Because if you are not growing, you are dying, as one the good doctor said.
Some of those places needs to be assessed and shut down. We have to be honest and assess ourselves. I hope we see as well. Now, this brings us to this question. I think the three of you, Basalwane, you have alluded to going into Bayemali.
Yeah.
I want to ask this question. It's a very direct question. Umnikelo wamfundisi. Bishop Dube, le mali enikelwa amakholo esontweni. Angifuni ukuthi ucategorize khona umnikelo maningi amagama. Sakhuluma last time ukukhona ngisho ama date of birth. Umnikelo nje uwasithenje yonke lemnikelo ne tithing yonke into ekabayi imali ekamfundisi, because I think there's a question abantu abaningi abakholwa nabangakholwa abafuna ukuyazi lonto. Ekabani le mali seyifikile ke manje seyikhona ekaba Bishop Dube.
What is very interesting ukuthi most of the time the people who are not givers are the only one who want to know ukuthi le mali esinikela kangaka izokwenzani, esinikela kangaka. And their envelopes are not found amongst those of the people abalethile. Well, the truth was at the moment in church we run the administration. Let me be explicit about that, because ibandla nje lina umfundisi, and well, fortunately abanye abefundisi they are committed in terms of they are fully employed. So in terms of how the money will be distributed, because it will be distributed, there are many things that need to be paid for. Amabandla maningi, they rent the places where they are, they pay for electricity, they've got the people. Administration, it's very, very important. You see, as we are sitting here, I know this program will reach hundreds and thousands of people, and some of this work, to put it together, it needs money, and somebody somewhere must pay for it. And those are some of the resources. When the money has come forward, it must be seen. Accountability is very important in each and every church. It's very important. So to me, it doesn't matter who does administration, whether umkamfundisi noma ingane kamfundisi noma ubani, but imali obviously must be used where it is supposed to be used, where it matters. But what is more important, I do want to say, abafundisi abasebenza kanzima, they must be paid for the hard work that they are doing. And people must do that without complaining. Obviously in the Bible, the tithes belong to umfundisi. And most of the bafundisi, we become very kind. We don't take those tithes for ourselves. We take them to be responsible in church. There is a point that was said by umfundisi Undamane last time. Observationity, as much as you have 100 people in church, only 3 to 10% people are the ones who are carrying the responsibility in terms of finances. So that is why we cannot run away from the fact abanye befundisi baze babe yigebengu yabona azadayisa izinto ongafanele ngabe uyayidayisa because they are trying to make money. Shame, you see, because thina bazalwane were not honest. If we were honest ekukhokheleni okweshumi ekunikezeni lo mnikele enikezwayo, it will be easy uma ngabe ubaba uDlamini place i-data page yakhe ebheka ukuthi nanka ama overheads. These are the things of sayifundisa abefundisi abaqala amabandla, because when you start a church, don't think all that money comes to you. Unfortunately, sometimes when you start a church, you get nothing out of it. I remember when we started the church, when we started a church, I had to buy a tent, the sound and everything. It costed me about 250,000. You ask me, where did I get that money? It's the money that the church has never returned to me in my life. And we continued. And then today, there are people who will come to church, you know, because it works differently. There are people who will come to church. Bazosola ukuthi umfundisi unikezwe sinikezwe ubaba Rathebe honorarium ka 10,000 ezoshumela ebandleni. No, that was out of order. Labo bantu, they don't even know isweat yakho ukuthi iqalephi njengomfundisi. That is why we must differentiate. In fact, I must say it explicitly. Umfundisi oqale ibandla ophethe ibandla must have a word and a voice ukuthi imali yebandla isebenza kanjani. Whether you like it or not, ubaba Rathebe uliqalile libandla, uyazi ukuthi imali isebenza kanjani. Let's give him that opportunity ukuthi ayisebenzise, because when you look at that church, it has been going on more than 10 years, and when uzofika kusasa la we are blaming ukuthi imali isebenza kanjani. That money kahle kahle bengizothi mina cha asinikele nje umfundisi, and then abese ya decide ukuthi wenzani. Ngenihlukane nokuthi ufika unikele Thoba Rathebe, ufika unikele kuzo zokhuluma. Laba nikela kancane bona bakhuluma kakhulu. Laba nikelayo abakhuluma umhlobo ngoba bayazi ukuthi umsebenzi kaNkulunkulu uyayidinga imali. But don't start a church just because you think there is money. In church there is no money. You need to sweat. Wena kufanele uinvest eqala kanti ekugcineni kube wena ozokwazi ukuthi kube nama returns akhona. Unfortunately, it works like any other business. You cannot start a church ungenamali. You cannot start a church ungenamali. That is the gospel truth.
Bishop, before ngiye kumpostoli Rathebe, just a quick one, isikhathi siyangishaya. Uzumuntu ongamazi nokumazi uJesu ethi amasonto adla imali zabantu. Labo mhlambe bangena ongichazela ukuthi labo mhlambe khona iseya abanayo ebandleni, ngoba ngiye ngibone kakhulu nakhona kule nkundla ka Facebook esikuyona no YouTube ukufica umuntu nje ungazi nokuthi uJesu uqala ngo-J noma ngo-X noma umspell kodwa uzwe sithi amasonto adla imali zabantu. Ngivele ngidideke manje ukuthi ngoba mina ngimazela lo muntu ehlale ehambela ngenyawo nje akayisotweni.
Umbuzo omkhulu ukuthi pho ningenaphi?
Okay.
Pho wena ungenaphi? You know, it's unfortunate ukuthi ibandla is under attack at the moment, and it is being attacked by those people are irresponsible, you know, because mozongena ku Facebook usibuza ukuthi usitshela ukuthi sidle imali. Like instance, you know, when COVID-19 was announced ukuthi amabandla azovalwa, there were people who were very excited. They were excited, no, amabandla azovalwa ngoba adle imali. Kahle kahle khona engeke ngambone ephendula ku Facebook ukuthi cha sidle imali zethu. Uma befundisi bezidla imali badle imali zethu. Wena ungenaphi? Ngoba phela neyakho asidictate le mali yakho oyihambise endaweni la uyihambisa khona. Then ungafuni ukungenelela kule mali eze esontweni. Cha, labantu nje abangahlangene nebandla ngoba le ishow yama Kristu. Uma ungena la uzoblame ukuthi sidle imali. Let me tell you, awuwena umKristu. Uyisigebengu nje ehlele esontweni ezama ukuzodistract umsebenzi kaNkulunkulu, because umuntu oresponsible ngempela knows ukuthi whenever sinemali esikhokhayo it goes somewhere. As I am saying ukuthi I'm sitting in the show, somebody somewhere would have to listen to this and grow. Why don't you give and give to this show and say this is the right thing? Mfundisi sinikelaphi? Uzoba ne problem. Awunikele kulezi edlala kwa SABC nalezi edlala awukwazi futhi ukunikela nalezi as developer wena as a person, because what we are doing here is development ne training ongayikhokhela inkulu imali, but you are getting it free of charge. So there's nothing wrong with people coming to church and giving their money, even giving their pastors their money. It's all welcome. They must bring it and come. We need that money.
Paul, wena ungena
pho wena ungena
African
Fundisa
proverb.
uRisa uRathebe.
Yes, sir.
Uthini wena shortly.
No. I think I concur with Bishop. One thing that all of us as Christians must understand: the premise, anything that we are dealing with has to be the Word of God.
Yeah.
And we did not write the Bible.
Yeah.
We did not come up with issues of offerings and tithes. And I mean, we're not gonna get into the debate of whether the tithe is a New Testament or Old Testament thing. I guess sequence. The greatest challenge is you'll find the tithe is worked on. I'll use the tithe in this case. Is worked on a percentage.
Yeah.
And if there are policies, because I do believe that every church needs a financial policy as to what is the imali yenzani, imali lengena yenzani kanjani, and the man of God also has a responsibility to have a voice in terms of, because he is the accounting officer of the church. If uNkulunkulu efika ubuza umfundisi. When resources are not used properly and are squandered and all of that, umfundisi bears accountability.
Yeah.
Now the challenge ile ekekibone yenzeka uthola ukuthi mhlambe ngokwe-finance policy of the church, depending on the administrative style that they have adopted, uthole mhlambe they work on percentage ukuthi mfundisi, we give you umfundisi having been part of the process in terms of decision making as well, ukuthi sokunikeza percentage engaka, right? And so tithe is worked on percentage. So hypothetically speaking, if you earn 5,000 rands, your tithe will be how much? 500 rand. It's percentage. When God looks at it, he's not looking at imali. If somebody earns about 1 million rand who's supposed to tithe 100,000 and I tithe or 99.2 or 99,000 rands, I mean, he's giving 99k. That's a lot of money. But ngokwe principle agathembakalanga, because tithe is looked at on percentage. Now this is where the problem comes. Ibandla lisaqala umfundisi sikunikeza percentage, umfundisi abe comfortable because umfundisi is a worker in the church. He's working in the church. Nimnikeza percentage umfundisi ayithole ukuthi umfundisi wena you'll get 25% of whatever monies that are coming, or 35% or 50%. Ngesikhathi sencane, nobody has a problem with the percentage. My cool imali sekumele manje umfundisi athole I percentage of maybe 10 million. They are no longer referring to a policy. They will not go back to policy and say, let's talk, because sekuyinkinga manje ukuthi usethuswa 1 million manje iliya kumfundisi, kodwa bengathuswanga 100 rand ubuya kumfundisi. Ngesikhathi umfundisi esathola 20% or 30% or 100 rand, nobody had a problem. But now umfundisi is still getting percentage. Now the percentage has gone up because the church has grown, the men of God has worked, God has given the church grace and all of that. Hey, ibandla naliyakhula sebenenkinga abantu ukuthi no, why umfundisi kumele athole imali engaka? Angazi mhlambe any into that I will say goes kwethu ngoba lesikhathi esiphila kusona sinzima. I'm going to encourage some of our brothers when we're talking about money in the kingdom, that you're genuinely called by God. There are a number of dynamics that can affect ukuthi kungabi nemali sontweni. Mhlambe sobuye sukudiscuss ngelinye ilanga. But this is what I want to say to you. Ukuthi qaphela ukuthi the Bible is very clear that ibandla kumele linakekele umfundisi. But ungadependi kulokho ngoba kungenzeka bangakwenzi. Now akumele bese uduba ibandla uthi angeke ngisashumayela ngoba nakho abazalwane they are not doing ama responsibility, they are not living up to their responsibilities. As we have said the last time when we had the show, have a plan. Find a plan. Yes, the Bible mandates everybody who is part of your church to take care of you. It's the Bible. We're not going to argue on that one. Unless it's ngewona makhola. Ushilo umbisho ukuthi mawuzola indawo omnikelo wena nje inkinga unenkinga serious ekumele nje sidile nayo eceleni. But if you believe the Bible, you understand your financial obligations towards the church. But when I get as a man of God or woman of God, don't depend on that. Ngoba inhliziyo zabantu when they are cold, when people's hearts grow cold, bayawavala amakhukhu abo. Don't let your kids suffer because you are expecting other people to come and banikela imali abangafuni ukuyinikela. They are mandated to, but they may not want to.
Oh, hayi isikhathi siyahlupha. Mfundisi uNdamsi, should church be audited? Siyafaka ama-audit emasontweni, kube nama-financials, kube ne-committee risk ezobheka. Bese kubuye kubizwe inceka kaNkulunkulu izochaza ixolise. kwadleka u50 rand sika spare sihamba no Bishop uDube cha bangcwele lithi angixolisi la ngiyazi bona kwakuthiwa ngisizwe kodwa ngoholwa nje inkosi gcina sekusebenzise u400 umcotho kaNkulunkulu azo accounta kwi-CA esindiswa izolo noma azo accounta kwi-CA ebhema insana senze njani lana ndamsise audit ifakele intona kani uthini ndama.
No, I think it's always good to have good governance in place.
Yeah.
Namaphepha ethu for good governance ne-order nje, it's important that we have policies njengoba umfundisi Apostle Ratebe was saying azosidefinele ukuthi how do we use these monies in church. And it's also important that for our own growth and purposes siwenze lama financials siwabone ukuthi ahamba kanjani. For transparency and reporting, we do this financial reporting. For the sake of risk, we do a risk assessment and so forth. Including investments and nama funds that we put aside, for the church. Should we have a crisis, we've got reserves. I think those are important issues. They are very crucial for a healthy church. And I think then we probably need to create more policies around what is the flexibility in terms of what he can use, or any other member in church and so forth. As for accounting, some account, but I think it's important that we lay down those foundations, and it's very important. But my general view is that on a general question, and I think most of the time it's those people that don't even give, that say that want to talk regarding our finances in church. And they also go to a point of even people from outside, they have got an opinion about church. They don't give to. They even have an opinion about those people who are giving in church.
Yeah.
And last time I think we talked about we shouldn't fleece the flock. I think that balance to a particular point where they are made poor. They should create an understanding which this is an organization that depends on funding and so forth. So I think those elements are important ukuthi sihambe nawo sirane nawo. Ukugcina siba akekho umuntu othenga supermarket kwamayidlele laphayana ethi mase sembona umuntu ubaba umayidlele ehamba nge-SUV yakhe athi mali yami leya. Those kind of tendencies tend to come in church kuphela. When people have given bese bethi hayi mali yethu. But uma ukuthi umuntu we-supermarket esimsupportayo every day usehamba ngemoto enkulu kuba ngazuthi ku-justifiable ngoba une-business, une-store. So I think the element should be changed nasesontweni, that we look at it differently. If we have grown so to an extent as a church that we can empower leadership yethu noma umfundisi wethu to a particular extent ukuthi afford a better house, a better car, we should be proud that we are growing, but not to point fingers ukuthi imali zethu and so forth.
Khuluma ofakile ongafakanga avala umlomo wakhe.
That's true.
Mayisikhona imali sinakekela inceke kaNkulunkulu akunankinga. Uma usuthengile esupermarket awusasho ukuthi umuntu imali zethu. Kodwa esontweni kuthiwa imali zethu. Akukhuluma ofakile Bishop Dube. Sesiyavala manje. Ufuna ukuvala lama questions awu2 engifuna ukubafala. This show wherever you're watching this from, kuthiwa we leave no stone unturned. Siphakamisa manje siwabhekise phezulu. Lembuzo u2 ngifuna ukuvala ngayo. Oqala uthi uzwa abantu bekhuluma again abakholwayo nabangakholwa. Ikakhulukazi abangamazi uJesu esimkholayo. Ubezwe bethi abaningi babuza manje bathi what is the church doing about the poor? What is the mandate yesonto labantu abapoor? Sibizele ukuthi mhlambi isonto kube into ezohambisa ukudla kwabapoor. Mfundisi uDube in 1 minute.
When uJesu uthi bawuhlala bekhona njalo abantu abapoor. Unfortunately, sizohlala nabo abangenalutho abapoor, but isonto is not a social welfare. Uhulumeni wethu una department efana naleyo. So ke siyosiza la kufanele sisize khona. And into ebalekile ukuthi ake sibe serious bazalwane ngokusiza abazalwane bethu. Not ngokuthi ngifuna ukugqamisa ibandla ukuthi ngiye emphakathini ngiyohambisa ama food parcels kuba khona abantu abalambile esontweni. Khona abantu ekufanele sibanakekele, into ekufanele sibanakekele abakhona la ngaphakathi. But the truthfulness is ibandla line role yokwakha izimilo nokuphilisa abantu emphakathini spiritually. That is the main mandate of the church. Uma ke uNkulunkulu esesizile sakwazi ukusiza nabanye abantu, lokho siyakubonga kakhulu. Kodwa ke akufanele sishawe ngamatshe, shayela ukuthi njengebandla lokuyi COVID-19 kufanele ngabe sihambisa ama food parcels. Cha, nje COVID-19 nathi kufanele ngabe siyathandaza, kufanele ngabe siyaba encourage abazalwane, siyaba exhorta, sikhuleka yenabo, abadlule emhlabeni siyabangcwaba, siyaduduza. Abahluphekayo unfortunately lisho njalo ibhayibheli kusho uJesu uqobo lakhe athi hawu poor will always be there. Kodwa ke uma sizo uNkulunkulu kuyofanele ukuthi nabo sibasize.
Mfundisi Rathebe nje short so le jama phasela asibizelwanga shothi
No,
nje akuyona ikhodi ngiyethamba ukuthi
no.
into plastic mhlambe
No, I feel put on the spot, but I will answer the question from a biblical perspective. Yoguti, number one, we understand the importance, of course, of some of the things that the Lord has said to us as His church. Yoguti, he said what Bishop has said. We'll always have the poor with us. And also that he would say that he was hungry and we did not feed him. He was in prison and we did not invite him. Right. But we also need to bring a balance in the two, because I'm of a philosophy that says that you don't just keep giving somebody a fish, you're disempowering them. You give them a fish and in the process teach them how to fish, so that while they enjoy the fish that you have given them, you are also giving them lessons, so that tomorrow they don't have to come back to you, to ask for a fish. And I think this is where a lot of people feel like they have this entitlement mentality to demand help from Ibandla. The church must do this, the church must do that. Who on other levels, they won't even... There are things that the church is doing that they will never even consider. There are people that we are helping. I can assure everybody in Jenobugayla, our responsibility in number one, it's also within the house of faith. Do all good to all men, especially to those of the household of faith. That is why some of us felt betrayed in social media when we are advocating that churches should be open. We're silent about it. They were not even talking. Hey, my pastor did this for me. My church did this for me. I have this because somebody else helped me, or from my church. They were just silent because that we do, and we don't always have to come out and say we are doing this. We have no responsibility to be accountable to people that are saying the church must do this, because they don't know what the church is doing. And again, the funny thing is that when we begin to show people what we are doing, we are also attacked at the same time. It's a problem. Food parcels, because when you go and feed the poor, you must leave your cameras at home. When you leave your cameras at home, they say, where is the church? And you ask yourself, that is why the church must be accountable to Christ and Christ alone.
Right. We should asikho accountable kubantu abangakholwa shoot.
I know abahlangene nathi nje kubike kanjalo phoba kungenaphi kuthiwa shoko kuzini.
Kuzamali kuthiwa phoba ngenaphi. Shoot nabangazi umuntu ongamazi uJesu. Mighty, what is the church doing about the poor? Shoot fanele mhlambe futhi into engihluphayo mdamana mhlambe oyisha nje kancane nje bese siyafana. Ngempela why ngingakaze ngizwe umzalo nethi what are we doing as a country noma kubantu laba abangakholwa benzani bona abantu abahluphekayo?
Yeah, no, that's very true. I think there's quite a lot of organizations we can talk about. I think last time Kuluma about one of the fundraising where people fundraise for rhino horns, and they raise millions of rands, and nobody really tends to go and question out of that portion, and many other civic organizations that you can find lang apparently. ukuthi enzani. I think it church is an easy target. So abantu, they tend to go and speak to a church and say lenzani ibandla, and I think a perception abanayo ngokuthi ibandla liyi. Our main mandate is to talk on issues of the kingdom of God.
Yes.
And then we also want to give government the opportunity to do the role that they are supposed to be playing. When we have matured to a particular level, last thing I was going to city support, it's important that we reach out. That is not an obligation of the church, it's an obligation of everyone. My companies, they have what they call a CSR, you know, your what do you call your corporate social responsibility. So that's not it's a business thing. If you're also a business, again, you've got that responsibility. It's a responsibility of everyone. Empeleni responsibility yakho wena obuzayo ukuthi ibandla lenzani wenzani wena ngale income onayo, how much are you giving to the community? So this thing of giving to the poor is a responsibility of everyone. Corporate, church, government in general as a primary responsibility of to the citizens, but it's our responsibility, it's our collective responsibility.
Wenzani wena. Uza thina nje wenzani wena. Sesiyavala manje isikhathi sisekho. Good people, wherever you're watching this from, isikhathi siphelile. Kodwa ngifuna sivalelise abalaleli bethu nama viewers ethu ngani ukuthi indiphendule lo mbuzo, futhi ngizovele ngibe direct ngoba sesiyavala. Uzovalelisa ngokuphendula bese uyavalelisa. Bese uyagoduka ongazwanga usewozwa ngelinye ilanga. Do you take money from the poor? Usihluphe noma umuntu oswele ezonikela, uyayithatha imali uhamba ngoMercedes, umuntu oswele uhamba oyidla noma uyayinqaba. Fanelisa Bishop Dube.
Siyabonga kakhulu niqhubeke ninikele. Well, the truth is uma angaba kuyi principle kumgomo ukunikela enkonzweni kuyanikelwa. When people have given, you don't even know ukuthi ubani onikelile, malini onikelile, i-conviction yakho umuntu nokukholwa kwakhe ikona okumenza ukuthi anikele. Like for example, kukhona umuntu ohlele eduze komgaqo. That is the point where umuntu ophuwa nje ohlezi eduze komgaqo edinga imali engeke anginikeze mina imali. That one would be out of order ukuthi uzosukuma nje athi ngoba umfundisi ake nginikele abesethi God bless you. Lokho nje kuyosho ukuthi ngithatha isiqalekiso kanti mina okufanele nginikele kuye bese ngiyambusisa. Imali you don't pity, we don't take money direct from the people. So it becomes difficult to understand ukuthi le ivela kubani, but we cannot take money from the poor. They can only give abantu imali enkonzweni as a principle of giving, and then we receive. Kodwa unfortunately you cannot judge ukuthi cha le ivela kusibani, le ivela kusibani bani, bayenza njenge principle. Kanti futhi uma uzazi ukuthi upoor, cha qhubeka nje usebenzisa imali yakho indlela ongayinikela ongayisebenzisa ngayo. Uma ungenayo conviction unganikeli ngemali yakho uzosikhalela ngakusasa ukade nganginikela le enkonzweni. That is why ngiyikhuza lento yokuthi masenza amatende sithathe imali kubantu abahluphekayo. Mangenza itende endaweni ngenza imvuselelo, ngilethe imvuselelo angizili ukuzoqoqa. Ngiyoqoqa kuphela kubantu asebethe ngiyamukela uJesu njengenkosi nomsindisi. Number 2, usungifundisile ngokunikela. Number 3, sengizotithe nami. That is the only part. Thank you.
Mfundisi uNdamane.
Sure. Yeah, money. Thank you very much, Siba. Thank you for the show, Nababugel Power Hour. Money is probably a declaration that somebody is making. That's why I think Bishop Dube is saying, asiyazi ukuthi imali ekabani eyimalini mayisihlanganisiwe. But we receive money because we are receiving the hearts. Kukhona onomthandazo onesicelo kuNkulunkulu through their offering and whatever it is that they are doing. We receive lokho nathi sikomukela and we pray for it. But I think it has nothing to do with being poor or anything else. Whoever is giving, they give because it's coming from their hearts. That's why they give. So we receive their hearts more than their offerings. Umuntu ezileta in a form of umnike. So we receive not just imali from the poor, we receive the person who's poor with the aim of them having faith and hope ukuthi I will come out of that poverty. So sibukela umuntu kahle kahle umnikelo is an indication of that person.
Fundisi Rathebe.
Yeah, hey, very, very, very serious subject, but asibonge ku Bishop Dube sibonge ku Mfundisi Ndamani sibonge kakhulu kuwe sibalikhulu man of God for giving us this opportunity nababukeli be power hour lapha emakhaya. Siyayithatha imali noma siyayeka. There is a verse, very scary verse in the book of Proverbs, very, very scary. And Solomon talks about his observation that about the poor and the rich, and he says that one thing about them is that the Lord is the maker of them all. That doesn't necessarily mean that God made them that way, but he made them as human beings. Now, we're sitting again with the issue layer poverty. If you understand biblical principles, if you understand biblical principles, you understand by revelation, not coercion, not motivation, by revelation. That is why Mfundisi Damani last time khona ukukhuluma kakhulu kanti umuntu vele usesithathile isinqumo sokuthi uzonikela ngamalini thole ucabanga ukuthi ukukhuluma kakhulu ikona kuzokhipha iminikelo. Mina mangisuke ekhaya ngisuke nginemali that I've decided that I'm going to give. There is no amount of preaching and something that is going to make me give anything that I've not decided in my heart not, to give. And hilapho khona ngicabanga ukuthi there is that thin line there where people must not feel coerced into giving. Basic kusasa baya complainer ukuthi uyazi le mali ngiconvinciwe. You can't give by being convinced. You must give by conviction. And conviction ihambisana ne revelation yomnikelo. Mina khona principle eyodwa. It may not be for everybody. Somebody may say that I'm too poor to give. Mina ngithi I'm too poor not to give. If you understand the power of principle, because if you are scattering, you are refreshing others. That's what the Bible says. He that refreshes shall also be refreshed. Now, if you understand when you bring an offering or you're giving, it's a seed that you're planting. Many people may dispute that because of their theological disposition, but I'm speaking from my theological disposition on the basis of the word of God. We don't take money. We receive people's hearts as we don't take anybody's money. We receive. And receiving, you understand that it's a gift that comes from a heart, because at the end of the day, it's not even the size of the gift that matters. It's the size of the heart that has given the gift. Khona umuntu onenhliziyo encane afika nikele ngemillion alikhulumele, kube nomuntu onenhliziyo enkulu afika nikele ngo500 uNkulunkulu athokoze ngomnikelo wakhe. It's not the size yomnikelo ethokozisa inhliziyo kaNkulunkulu, inhliziyo yomuntu lothi umnikelo.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much, Basalona. Thank you, Saints, for taking your time. It's always an honor and a pleasure to have you as our panelists. Siyambonga uNkulunkulu kakhulu. And I hope, kuma viewers ekhaya, I hope you've enjoyed this broadcast. We thank you kakhulu for taking your time. And I can assure you ukuthi isikhathi sihlale singavumi. Nginganitshela nje kugcwale nje umlomo ukuthi nisabuya niseza la. Lama sitheni nje asazoba warm nje ni relax nizoba strong. Sizwile ke ma viewers ukuthi akukhuluma ofakile. Akukhuluma umzalwane. Ongayena umzalwane akangena entweni yethu. Asithatha imali yabantu abaswele kodwa si receive abantu their hearts. Samba ngeprinciple uyizwele nawe. Ngicabanga ukuthi sesine answer masiphumela ngaphandle ukuthi akukhuluma ufakile ufake emalini slip bese uyakhuluma ngalawo mazwi. Let me say thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much to our production team bonke akade bedidiyela lolu hlelo for umsebenzi omuhle abenzile. Siyabonga kakhulu bese sibonga kakhulu kunina ama viewers ethu ahlale esilale ngaso ngesikhathi. Keep those comments coming. Send your email and your suggestions ku admin at fm-mhill.org.za. Ikhona lapha ezansi uphendula ungakhohlwa futhi ukusubscribe ku channel yethu Siba 760 TV ku YouTube, FM Miranhill ku Facebook na ku Instagram. Siyabonga kakhulu. Good night.